Everything to shut us up, but we will not shut up Martinez. All we want is justice to take its course. We want justice for you, Martinez, until all your murderers have been exposed and punished. Good evening, viewers of Equinoxe Television. We thank you so much for always being with us. In this edition of the news, right away we begin with our major stories. International media organs continue to press for investigation on the Martinez murder case to intensify 1 month after the frightful discovery of Martinez's corpse in an advanced state of decomposition. One of America's most prominent daily newspapers used the hashtag Justice for Zogo. The Washington Post says it is imperative the murderers of Martinez be known and punished. We tell you more in this edition of the news. And a bag full of human bones has been intercepted by gendarmes in Bonaberi here in Douala. The human skeletons from Fundong in the northwest region of Cameroon were transported through the southwest region to the littoral by some young guys. Stay with us for details and more. Welcome back, viewers. We thank you so much for always according us your time every 6 p.m. for the news in the English language. We continue talking about the Martinez murder scandal 1 month after the murder of Martinez Zogo. A prominent U.S. daily newspaper, The Washington Post, joins other international media organs to seek justice for Martinez. In its outing, The Washington Post demands a transparent and credible investigation so that the perpetrators are known and punished accordingly. Innocent Azek tells us more.
Zogo assassination case are still being interrogated at the State Defense Secretariat in Yaoundé, thanks to a joint Gendarmerie and Police Inquiry Commission ordered by the President of the Republic. The national and international community and the national and international press continue to mount pressure for justice to be served, the Amplitude FM radio boss. Some media organs are determined to continue following the event until the culprits are brought to book. One of these prominent international media organizations is the Washington Post, the most dominant newspaper in the United States, published daily in Washington, D.C. In their most recent publication siding with the Committee to Protect Journalists, the Washington Post published the hashtag, "We demand justice for Martinez Zogo." Cameroonian journalist Martinez Zogo, who reported on large-scale government corruption, was recently found murdered. We demand a transparent and credible investigation. Another international media organ which has been largely vocal on the murder of Martinez Zogo is Jeune Afrique. The organ has made several outings, even on their numerical platforms, demanding for justice to take its course. More French international TV stations have been dwelling on the Martinez affair. Radio France International and TV stations have recently been hosting several talk shows in a bid to press for the murderers of Martinez Zogo to face the law accordingly. 1 month after the killing of the journalist, several suspects have been arrested and currently being interrogated, with the national and international community hoping the killers will soon be fished out and severely punished for justice to be finally served.
Justice for Martinez Zogo is all we want. And now we talk something else. A group of 4 suspected human bone traffickers has been arrested by gendarmes in Douala, precisely in Bonaberi. At the time of the arrest, they had in their possession human bones which, according to them, were to be sold for 15 million francs CFA. Mala Glory completes the story.
These human skeletons were transported to Douala to be sold at 15 million francs CFA, according to the suspect. The human bones, which are from Fundong in the northwest region, were transported to Douala through the southwest region. The 4 suspected traffickers made these confessions to the Douala 3 Gendarmerie Company. This was after they were arrested by the gendarmes.
Un groupe de jeunes présents dans la ville avait à leur possession.
This group of youths present in town were in possession of human bones and was in search of a potential buyer. Further investigations made us to discover that the human skeletons are from the northwest region, precisely from Fundong.
Proviendrait de la région du nord-ouest, plus précisément dans la localité de Fundong.
According to the gendarmerie commander, Awumu Owona Yves Robert, the operation was successful thanks to the close collaboration from the public. And he adds that security has been reinforced at the entrance into Douala.
Le haut commandement de la gendarmerie a mis.
The high commander of the gendarmerie has put in place measures to permit us to carry out effective controls in our different entryways into town.
Différentes voies d'accès dans notre ville.
The gang of 4 suspected traffickers were later presented to the public. Meantime, investigations are ongoing to determine how the human bones from Fundong in the northwest region arrived Douala.
And now we take you to the far north region of the country, where the lack of birth certificate has caused several pupils in examination classes not to be able to sit in for their final exams. Many blame the situation on ignorance and poverty. To address this issue, some 415 birth certificates were distributed to Class 6 pupils in 19 different schools in Tokumberi. Immaculate Fogwe has the details.
At least 40,000 pupils in the Mayu-Sava division, Far North region, are without birth certificates. A situation that has caused many of them not to be able to sit in for official government examinations. Pupils of Tokumberi, a subdivision in the Mayu-Sava division, are also affected by the same problem.
Cette année, nous avons inscrit.
According to the Basic Education Inspector for Tokumberi, out of the 3,347 Class 6 pupils, only 1,215 have birth certificates. This means more than half of the pupils will have a blank school year.
De concours d'entrée en 6e et en première année. Ce qui signifie qu'il manque encore beaucoup.
To address this issue, the Development Committee of Tokumberi has distributed 415 birth certificates to Class 6 pupils in 19 different primary schools.
This action is an important one because it concerns human. By this action, deaf children have now Cameroonian nationality. I'm very happy. I congratulate the Committee of Development.
The Despite progress made towards increasing birth registrations, many children are still not registered at birth in the Far North region. It should be noted that a birth certificate is a lifelong passport for many rights. Without it, one cannot register for national exams needed for admission to secondary schools.
And now, Tangbi Ludovic is the award winner of the prestigious prize of the American Mathematical Society. A Cameroonian professor in the Department of Operations Research and Financial Engineering at Princeton University is making his country, Cameroon, very proud. Our reporter Malagari presents a profile of this great talent from Cameroon.
David Tanbi has emerged winner in a one-year scholarship program which was established to foster excellence in mathematical research and to help generate broader and sustained participation of black scientists. He has been awarded 3 consecutive years of an MS Greater Gilman Scholarship. He is the assistant professor in the Department of Operations, Research and Financial Engineering at Princeton University. Ludovic obtained his first degree in mathematics at the University of Yaoundé 1 and later obtained master's degree in mathematics from the University of Stellenbosch in South Africa. It is in collaboration with the African Institute for Mathematical Science. The researcher works jointly at the Humboldt University of Berlin and the University of Constance and was a postdoctoral fellow in mathematics at the University of Vienna. Ludovic Tanbi is a brilliant mathematician whose works has been hailed by international scientific community. The researcher is also a member of the Pan-African Research Council. According to experts, his recognition shows that science is universal and that it can be practiced successfully by talented people from all over the world.
Thank you, Malagori, for that report. And now we move over to this obituary. The mortal remains of the Cameroonian Makossa icon, Ekambi Briand, have been removed today from the Lakentin Hospital mortuary. Family members, friends, colleagues, fans joined to bid him farewell as he begins his journey to eternity. Lucy Liengu Esia was at the Lakentin Hospital mortuary. She now tells us more.
The journey to eternity begins for Makossa icon, Ekambi Briand, popularly known as Motamunya. Family members, friends, colleagues of the artist gathered at the Lakentin mortuary for the corpse removal. The award-winning artist who helped to revolutionize Makossa in Cameroon, his friends, fans, said they find it difficult to accept his demise.
He was someone with class. When it comes to music, I think no one could copy it. We are all in tears. His family, friends, the entire world will never forget him. He was a legend.
His attractive slows, such as Elongi, Mosengedi, and his soulful beats like Eboki, Motamunya, according to Charlie Nele, will always be remembered.
He was a legend and knew that one day he would die like his son.
Comme lui-même il a chanté. Natem winda nyabolongi, lonon loma longo, nasimasi ngabambo bao, loma kwala ndenje, benembe ma benetonje, jidumbenge pongo mikondo, ndo sidimbia na bunyabo. Mese matiti tolambo, ye, umalande musoloki. C'est ce qui arrive ce soir.
The 74-year-old passed away on Monday 12, 2022 at the Lakentin Hospital following a prolonged illness. He would be laid to rest in his native village in Zibombari, Littoral region on Saturday, February 25, 2023. The talented artist leaves behind family members, friends, well-wishers, fans to mourn him.
Rest in peace to the artist. So an artist never dies because his works live on. Now we talk about the presidential election in neighboring Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nigerians in Douala, like all over within the southern parts of Cameroon, decry the hardened security control around the southern border between Cameroon and Nigeria, which they say has played against Southerners wishing to cross over and vote. To them, it is a deliberate strategy to give a more voting strength to the north. For me, Armstrong Sanders spoke with some Nigerians here in Douala and compared this report for the news.
6 months of intense election campaign and 2 days into the presidential election, Nigerians in Cameroon, like in other countries out of Nigeria, regrets the fact that they will not be able to vote out of the Nigerian territory.
Had it been the Nigerian consulate here in Cameroon opportuned us to do that, I would have loved that, because it's a privilege for us here to vote.
I was thinking that the vote, the voters card and everything about it will come to the consulate, and then they will be like, if you have your NIN, your NIN, come and vote.
We thought that they would do it like other civilized countries, that you can vote anywhere you are.
The Saturday, February 25th election, according to them, will be an exercise against insecurity, unemployment, and corruption.
Okay, the major problems that we are having in Nigeria is insecurity, number one. Number two is not unemployment. And the third is power problem, power supply. I will vote for somebody that will sort these three problems. These are the three major problems that Nigeria have.
Nigerians in Cameroon are already making their projections.
Like P2B, because he has his manifesto. In his manifesto is given, is very...
That man that we're talking about, the man that sent from heaven, is Peter Obi. The only man all over the whole world recognized as a good man.
Well, I'm obedient.
As we are seeing in the television, obedient. He's not film, he's something real. He has supporters both Nigeria and abroad.
And surely P2B will take Nigeria to the highest level in the extent that all Nigeria will be happy.
Nigerians in Douala, like all over within the southern parts of Cameroon, decried the hardened security control around the southern borders between Cameroon and Nigeria, which they say has played against Southerners wishing to cross over and vote. To them, it is a deliberate strategy to give a more voting strength to the northern part of Nigeria.
And just to let you know that our reporters are already on the ground, they are already in Nigeria, so Equinoxe Television will be giving you updates on how the presidential election in Nigeria unfolds. And now we talk sports ahead of the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope, which takes place this weekend. Precisely on Saturday, inhabitants of Boya say that the effervescence they used to have way back when the event used to be organized by others has somehow died down, though they want it to take steam this time around. They say they will be present at the Moliko Municipal Stadium massively and along the race course to support the athletes who are going to take part in the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope come Saturday. Few hours to the opening ceremony of the 50th anniversary of the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope's Manjikan Gabriel paints the picture of the readiness of Boya to host its August guests.
The Moliko Omnisport Stadium in Boya is still to get a different face value as before it plays host to the 50th anniversary of the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope. Many people in Boya say the ambience of years gone and now are different.
Mountain race will never be how it has been before. Before now, we already have animation. Do you know that? Vehicles are going round, pim, animating. People already know that there is mountain race. But now, not anybody knows about the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope. It's only that day. Then, that's some post, it screams that, so mountain race day today.
Even without ambience before the big event, some of the inhabitants of Boya believe that it will be a great feast.
It's an important event. I mean, it's been a sorrowful time for Cameroon. We've had killings, we have fears. So things like this where people can go maybe and forget about their sorrows. It's a good thing. Yes, I just expect something peaceful and happy. That's just all. I just expect a more joyful and a more peaceful event.
Not every Boya resident will be at the Moliko Omnisport Stadium or the race course to give their support to the about 600 athletes announced for the race.
I am not someone that do come out on that day, but I do watch it on TV. So it is really interesting, and I am not going to miss, especially this one, for anything in this world. There is this young woman, I like her so much. I cannot really remember her name, but I think I am hoping that she's going to win again. She won last year.
Some hours before the 28th edition of the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope, forecasts are already being made of who to win the 10 million francs CFA prize money.
I'm very sure that it will be a Boya person who will be the first that will take that 10 million. No foreigner will come in our country and beat us in that race. Because I know what my people can do now. Last year, I'm sure they was not fortunate. So this year, they have really been training.
The last meeting to prepare for the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope took place at the governor's office in the course of the week. The Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Chief Professor Narcisse Mwole Kombi, will be the official representative of the head of state, President Paul Biya.
The Mount Cameroon Race of Hope is always a very interesting sporting event, massively attended by those in and out of Boya who are always lining up across the streets of Boya to applaud the athletes as they climb up and down the chariots of the gods. Still talking about the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope that would be on Saturday, athletes who have been declared eligible for the mountain race since today have been involved in the medical exercises, which are obligations for all athletes before they could be part of the race. The medical checkup that is taking place or took place at the Moliko Omnisport Stadium is being supervised by the director of the Boya Regional Hospital, who is also the head of the Medical Commission for the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope. Let's now listen to some of the athletes who took part in that medical checkup or exercise ahead of the mountain race in this excerpt.
And I am 14 years old. They asked me to measure my weight, and they asked my name, they asked my number on the list, and then they transfer me to the doctor. The doctor asked me to come and test my stomach and check my heart. I'm telling my friend that people that are of my age, and they should train well, so that they can have the opportunity to win the race.
My name is Afai Collective. I'm from we are training in Samba. I'm here for the and this is my first time to start. I'm going to participate in the junior categories, the women. Just the way I'm seeing prayer, I thought I would be afraid, but the way I'm seeing, I don't have any problems.
I'm here from Mexico. We started with if you are qualified, your name will be on the list, then you will go to the doctor.
Those were some of the athletes in the women and also in the kids category talking that reporters in Boya after their medical exercises. And now let's listen to the head of the Medical Commission, Dr. Mukake Martin, who tells us what is entailed in the medical exercise that every athlete must undergo before taking part in the mountain race.
The essence for this exercise is to make sure that we send those who are physically fit and mentally fit to go to the mountain, because health cannot be compromised, and we want to make sure that certain pathologies that can be very dangerous to their health is eliminated before they get onto the mountain. So we want to be very strict and make sure that those who are going up, their hearts can sustain, their muscles are good enough to suspend them, their lungs are good enough to breathe when they go up and come down, such that at the end of the day, the race is going to be successful and everybody is going to be a winner. We first of all want to check the heart of the patient to make sure that the heart can be able to sustain the patient. Their lungs are very important because in as much as you're running, your heart beats faster, your lungs will also work faster, so you breathe faster. So we want to make sure that they can breathe well and they can be able to sustain. and they run with their musculoskeletal system. So we need to make sure that they don't have defects in their muscles and other things to make sure that they are fit from the technical side to get up to the mountain. We also take care of their mental state as well.
And viewers, that was what we put together for you this evening on the news. Thank you so much for always being with us. Don't go away, our programs continue in about 45 minutes or so. Serge Alain Otu will be in the studio for Equinoxe, and at 8 p.m., Julien Beth Bissar will be here for the news in the French language. Stay with us on Equinoxe Television. Bye-bye for now.
Equinoxe Télévision, au-delà de l'image, nous rendons compte.
If you suspect you may have a coronavirus infection, please call your healthcare provider in advance.